Israel is condemned again and again and again. Members from the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health are quoted as fact. The numbers from their accusations against Israel are accepted first and examined later, if at all. If you look at the social media, even compared President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to Hitler a few months ago. Just last week, here in New York, the same propaganda campaign was repeated here by New York's city's mayor. Mr. Mamdani stood before a crowd. He accused Israel of killing thousands of civilians. He said Israel killed an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmad Wishah. Mr. Mamdani, we have the video. We have the evidence.
On camera, Israel appears to defend the killing of a journalist as pressure mounts over the strike. Israel's UN envoy shares what he says is proof that the journalist was a Hamas sniper. Israel's actions in Gaza appear to backfire at the UN as more countries condemn the IDF's conduct. Israel is fuming after New York Mayor Mamdani slammed IDF strikes in Gaza. Ahmad Wishah was killed in a strike on Gaza's Berea refugee camp on June 20th. At least 260 Palestinian journalists have reportedly been killed since October 2023. The UN Security Council met on Monday to discuss Israeli expansion in the occupied Palestinian territories.
Israel is condemned again and again and again. Members from the Hamas-run Gaza Ministry of Health are quoted as fact. The numbers from their accusations against Israel are accepted first and examined later, if at all. I would like to thank Mr. Ramiz Al-Bagharov for his briefing, but just look at the other briefers invited here today. This time the presidency made an extra effort. It found some of the most radical anti-Israel voices it could find. These are not neutral experts. Definitely not. Mr. Itai Epstein, if you look at the social media, even compared President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu to Hitler a few months ago. So those are the briefers you choose to bring, and supposed to be objective, neutral briefers. That's unfortunate. Madam President, since October 7th, this Council has heard the same accusations against us again and again. Accusations, Israel, that we are intentionally kill civilians, that Israel intentionally targets doctors, aid workers, and journalists. Time and again, I have come here and said clearly, Israel does not target civilians. Israel does not target journalists. Israel targets terrorists. But many of you today chose to repeat the same accusations. That is the UN on anti-Israel autopilot. And how it works, a claim is made against Israel, the UN repeats it, and then the world condemns it. Then when the truth comes out, it takes time, sometimes weeks, months, years, no apology, no correction, no retraction. They move on. We will not move on. We will put the truth on the record. Those so-called journalists were their own fighters, terrorists. Just last week, here in New York, the same propaganda campaign was repeated here by New York's city's mayor. Mr. Mamdani stood before a crowd. First, he compared AIPAC to monsters that move dark money. That's the language he used. Then he moved to talk about Gaza. He accused Israel of killing thousands of civilians. He said Israel killed an Al Jazeera journalist, Ahmad Wishah. Mr. Mamdani, we have the video. We have the evidence. This is Ahmad Wishah, the one that you condemned us for eliminating. A Hamas terrorist, a sniper in Hamas's military wing. We have the video. You can see him armed in the streets of Gaza. Journalist or a terrorist? You tell us. This is the machine. Hamas makes a claim. The NGO, ecosystem, rapporteurs, briefers, they all repeats the lies. And then a UN report rubber stamps it. The world media broadcasts it, and Israel is condemned before the facts are even checked. The obstacle to peace is not Israel. It is the radicals. It is Hamas. If you will not listen to Israel, then listen to the Gazans risking their lives to say it. On Friday, Palestinians in Gaza called for a day of rage against Hamas. But the protests could barely take off. Why? Because Hamas sent armed men into the streets. It threatened protesters as collaborators, and it warned them they could be executed. That is Hamas rule, and they are not only terrorizing Gazans. Hamas is directing terrorism across the region, also in Judea and Samaria. Days ago, we exposed a Hamas network in Turkey, planning attacks against Israelis in Judea and Samaria and other parts in Israel.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.